It's not that serious? Okay, we could still be friends. Today, I want to talk to you about bias tape makers. Don't know what bias tape is? I'll let you know about that too. I'm Nye with Ellie and Mac. Let's talk about it. Oh, you got here. Okay, good. I thought my directions were bad, but I'm glad you were able to follow the directions to me right here at my table. So today I want to talk to you about some bias tape. What's bias tape, you say? Clutch the pearls! I don't have any pearls. But what is bias tape? Quilters use this to cover the free edge of their quilts. Some people use this and it looks super duper cute to make straps for tie dresses or to even hem circle skirts and things of that nature because, oh my gosh, a colorful accent is everything. I just love it. And this right here, this gingham is super cute. I love it. And you see how it pops off the side of that fabric? That's a bias tape. Some people use bias tape for necklines. It's almost like a binding like you would do with a stretch knit, only it's a woven. And because it's cut on the bias, you get a little give. You'll see if you look around your house, you probably have several articles that have bias tape on them. For instance, if you're a nurse, you probably have bias tape around your scrub tops. If you cook, you might have bias tape around those pot holders. Yeah. So now you know what a bias tape is. It's basically fabric cut on the bias and double folded and ironed. So this little tools that I have here are created to make it easy for you to make bias tape. So you're going to make your own bias tape, and of course I'm going to leave you a video right here so that you can see how it's done. And you can use this now for your necklines, you can use it for your hemlines, you can use it for the edges of your pillows. I mean, it's fabulous. And you can make pot holders. Hey, the holidays are coming. You know you want to make yourself some Christmas pot holders. Don't lie, Nancy. You know you do. Sandra, I see you. Okay, so let's talk about these binding tape makers before y'all get bored and be like, nah, time's a ticking. Okay, so the first set is going to be the Honey Sew Bias Tape Maker. I really like these. They're pretty basic. They get the job done. You get 4 bias tape makers for $5.35. I mean, yes, okay. I have a video here of me using these bias tape makers, and I was actually quite happy with them. The only thing I would say about a bias tape maker is that you can't really do it with knits. So as much as I would love to be able to do bias tape with knits, I have yet to find a tool that makes it easier than simply ironing my knits with starch. So I still love these though, because they weren't meant to be made, or they weren't meant to be used with knit. They still work quite well. They're pretty easy. They're intuitive to use. I mean, come on. And you can't beat that for $5.35. These are going to get 5 stars from me. 5 out of 5. And these are going to hang out right here with me. This next bias tape maker does still get some decent stars, but I was a little disappointed in the quality of it. These are 2 bias tape makers that you may not have ever seen. They're actually quite new on the market, and they're made, let me just throw them everywhere, y'all. This is how mad I am. No, I'm not mad, I'm just kidding. But this next product is a set of 2 bias tape makers. They actually call them the W tape makers. Double, D-O-U-B-L-E-U. Fun. That's creative. Anyway, I really kind of wanted these to be my best friend. When I saw them, let me tell you something, and I'll show you a video right here, like I always do. I saw these on Facebook, and I almost keeled over. I almost fell off my couch, y'all, because I wanted to love these so much. I was like, yes, Nancy. And then afterwards, I was kind of like, okay, Nancy. I found them on Facebook. I saw someone making binding with them. It was so awesome. What they did is they attached their fabric to their sewing machine and they used a flat iron to pull the binding. Like the sewing machine would feed the binding through, and then they would use a flat iron on the other side to get the binding pressed. I thought to myself, holy goodness, that's going to be the best thing ever. And it was, until I got them and I couldn't get it to work quite the way they did. When I had woven running through, the woven got discombobulated on the way out and kind of kept shifting. And now it's really difficult when you have to deal with the front side of your machine and the back side of your machine while making sure you finagle your fabric through here. So that was not my favorite thing to do. And I couldn't pull the fabric through because there's no handle on these. So what I literally had to do is tape this to my machine in order to feed my fabric through. Another thing about these that was a little bit disappointing was the fact that when I had seen these, the person was using it with knit fabric. I have had no such luck with knit fabric. I tried to make knit binding, and let me tell you something. I was more stoked than I probably should have been because I was like, celebration! I can make some bindings out of knit, yeah! And it didn't work out, and I was so butthurt. Tell me how durable you think this is. Okay, these are 3D printed. These are not going to be the most durable product on, because the creativity that went behind creating this is so fabulous. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to be neighbors with these because I'm going to give these the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go ahead and give them a 4.0. 1, because they don't work with knits quite the way I thought they would. 2, because they're not as durable as I would like. And 3, you're going to have to sit down for this. Go ahead and have a seat, y'all. $14.50 for these, y'all. $5.35. Now, y'all know I'm a thrifty girl. I don't like wasting my money, okay? So these are going to get a 4.0. I'm not going to put them in the naughty spot this week because I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go ahead and keep using these, and if something happens to turn around, I'll come back and revisit these. You know, I'm not opposed to making up. We can make up and be friends, but not right now. Whew, I got all emotional. Y'all, I feel like I'm in church. Woo! Okay. Now we have this TF Boy tape binding foot from Amazon. This retails for $6.99. I really like this foot. This does not make binding tape. However, it will help you put your bias tape onto your fabric. You basically just stick your fabric through the end cap here and put your bias through here, and the machine, your sewing machine, will pull it through. You can adjust it. It can be wide for a wide bias tape, or it can be narrow for a more narrow bias tape. And I really like the fact that it's adjustable. It's made out of plastic, and you know, the foot isn't of the best material on the whole planet, but literally it's $6.99, and it will get the job done. Now, some downsides. It's a little wonky when you first start using these little screws. It's almost as if it needs to be oiled, because you can't really do a quilt binding with this bad boy because it's really thin. When you're using it though, you have to be very careful to make sure that you keep your fabric inside the slot. I had a little bit of difficulty keeping the binding seated where it belonged, and that's going to be the only difficulty you're going to probably encounter when you use it as well. Just keeping the fabric going in the direction that it's supposed to go so that the needle catches it as it goes through. But at the same time, I mean, this TF Boy tape binding foot, it fits all low shank machines. It's pretty easy to use. It's pretty easy to adjust. It's semi-durable, and it's $6.99. I wish it could sew thicker fabrics, and I'm sad that it doesn't, but I mean, it's still going to get a go. This is going to get a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Just because it doesn't sew thicker fabrics, and I kind of wish it would, a 4.5 isn't all that bad. This week we had nobody in the naughty spot, and I really feel like my naughty spot is kind of lonely. So, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and put those in there just so the naughty spot isn't lonely. Nice. I'm glad you were here for my reviews today. That's all I have for you. Next week, we're going to go ahead and do some pattern tracing wheels. I know some of you were asking me specifically for some double wheels so that you can see how you might be able to add a seam allowance to a pattern that might not otherwise have a seam allowance. I got you. We're going to do that next week. So come back. Don't be a stranger. I hope you have a lovely week. Enjoy your Tuesday and go ahead, say it with me.